So, a lot of people have been questioning if the MP7 is going to be viable in this patch. Now, the MP7 is one of the fan favorites when it comes to the Division. The MP7 was one of the rarest SMGs in the beginning of the game, but it output the most amount of damage thanks to its 950 RPM base rate of fire, which is absolutely insane. So I decided to make an MP7 build and build everything around the large amounts of damage that it does up close. I have responsive, I have deadly, and I have destructive on my weapon. I'm trying it out. We're going to see if it's like good enough. I think the amount of crit chance that I have, which is around like 36%, is enough. You're outputting so many shots per second. I think that having that much crit chance, is enough so that you can start speccing into other things like crit damage. I have crit damage on my knee pads. I have crit damage almost on anything that I can get it on. And I'm up near like 110% crit hit damage, something like that. Also have a crit hit damage optic, and also if I don't know if there's a crit hit damage barrel for SMGs. If there is, I might consider taking it because the 7.5% crit chance is great, but I feel like you don't get a huge amount of value there. So I'll be kind of shuffling the build around, but overall it did very, very well. You guys are going to be seeing me melt, absolutely melt players. Not 1.1 melt with Sentry with the 45% extra damage. That was just ridiculous, but melt compared to any type of damage that the SMGs have done in the past, 2 to 3 updates. So there's an overwhelming, positive feedback about this SMG change, and I'm actually super excited because you know why? When a lot of people in the community agree on one thing, that something has to change, and then that thing changes and the game feels better, that's a very satisfying feeling, and I'm really, really excited. So I also wanted to just let you guys know that I am going to try as hard as I possibly can to take any type of criticism that you guys have when it comes to things that need to be changed, because I understand that I don't speak for everybody. But I also have been gaming my entire life and have played multiple third-person shooters, and I think that I have a pretty good idea of what needs to be changed and what doesn't need to be changed. Now, obviously, that's, my own opinion, but I want to let you guys know that I do try to, incorporate everyone's, opinion. I know that I don't play this game on console. I know that I'm PC exclusive and that things may be way different on console. I understand that. But that's something that I always try to factor in when I, come up with decisions or come up with opinions on certain things. So I really, really think you console players and everyone really at that matter is going to really, really enjoy the new and improved SMGs. It's actually awesome. I'm using the high-end build, and like I said, I basically put as much crit damage and enemy armor damage in as I possibly can. Now, there's other ways that you can do this as well. You can use like a burst build where you do competent or adept, and then you kind of just use your skills to use a large amount of damage in a short period of time. But the build that I'm doing here doesn't need my skills in order to do a lot of damage, and the reason for that is because I am running booster shot and I'm also running pulse, and sometimes, like you can see here, I will pulse when I don't see anybody to get vision for my team. Now, if I was just saving my pulse specifically to get the damage boost, that could become a problem because I'm not helping my team in return. Now, there's nothing wrong with doing a type of build like that. That's how I think you get the most possible DPS. You do responsive and, responsive, something else, and then you run adept or competent in the third slot, and you pop your damage boost from your booster shot, and then you just melt them, and that's cool. But I use my booster shot and my pulse for a lot more utility, so I went for more of just a flat damage boost. And actually, I was very, very impressed with deadly here. I'm using responsive, destructive, and deadly. So I'll be trying a whole bunch of different versions of this build. I'll probably be streaming tonight, and we'll be playing this for a while. But I do want to set up my PS4 because I want to get back into Destiny a little bit too. I don't want to, you know, make it my, main game or anything like that. But I really think that Destiny 2 is going to be coming out in the next year or two. And I really want to start getting prepared for that so that I have the amount of experience necessary for people to at least feel like they want to watch me on that game. So I'll definitely be doing that. But I want to hear what you guys think about the SMGs. I think that the SMGs are in a super good spot right now. You're going to see plenty of times during this video where I get outshot by an assault rifle, and that just is going to happen. Assault rifles, I think, are still king. You're going to also see some situations where people with assault rifles run up into my face when I have an SMG, and I completely fold them over, as it should be. I feel like that's exactly how the SMGs should be. Super strong up close, but very weak at medium to long range. So if you're picking an SMG, you're assuming that most of your gunfights are happening up close. If you want to counter that, you have an assault rifle. Keep your distance, guys. Like, an assault rifle at medium range will always beat SMGs as long as you don't get too close. Now, if you end up running into people constantly and just accidentally getting too close to people using SMGs, it means that you need to put a pulse on. Many times what I do is when I spawn into a match on Last Stand, I like to see the skills that my team are using or that my squad are using, and then use other skills to kind of give the team more balance. And I noticed that, like, a lot of people just kind of use the skills that they want to use, and then they're like, oh my god, this is stupid, none of our teammates are using pulse. Well, yeah, put pulse on yourself. Sometimes you got to make sacrifices for the better of the team. And I think it really did help us a lot here having this pulse. And like, honestly, sometimes I'll see where, they're using a lot of seeker mines and that kind of thing, which the seeker mines still do tons of damage, by the way. The airburst seeker mines, if you guys haven't tried that and you like the clusters in the last patch, try it. It's not super OP though, because it can be shot, whereas like the clusters, there were so many little balls going, it was impossible to shoot them all, and at least one or two would sneak by. But with the airburst seeker mine, you can see it from a mile away. You get a marker through the wall, and you can shoot it in time. It's got a huge radius, but I think I'm okay with it. Like, I don't want skills to be completely useless. A lot of people think skills are super useless. It's actually not. I don't see anybody using like smart cover or anything like that, because when something gets nerfed, people automatically assume that that something is useless when that's actually not the case. And I think that having smart cover in certain situations and having a skill build is still extremely important and can help your team win big time. But some people don't want to make that sacrifice to run a reclaimer build or whatever, but it's actually crazy how much it really does matter. And you can tell when you're going up against a skill user, they're going to be just running all over your team, because they're going to be constantly buffing their teammates, and they're going to be constantly giving them heals. And without proper teamwork, it's almost impossible to push down somebody who has something set up. Like, you have a healing station and you have something like smart cover. Those players in that area are going to be very hard to take down. And if they're coordinated and one has like maybe, I don't know, a sniper build, and the other is giving, cover fire with an LMG or an assault rifle, it's going to be super difficult to push that. So I don't know why people think that skill builds are kind of useless now. They're actually not. But I think a lot of people are just kind of using DPS builds now because, well, everyone likes doing damage, right? But obviously, I don't want it to all be DPS users, but I mean, people do what they want, and I'm very excited that I'm seeing so many people run around with SMGs. Like, I swear, in 1.5, you never, ever saw someone using an SMG. And to see people using now you're seeing people using assault rifles, SMGs, snipers, shock. I'm watching people use everything, and that's great. That's awesome. It means that we're just a little bit closer to the weapons being balanced, which I'm super excited for. And like I said, the fact that the community is taking this change to SMGs so well just proves that, like, when SMGs were the meta back in the day, a lot of people complained about it, but I think a lot of people really liked it. Like, who doesn't like running up into someone's face and then completely folding them like a launch chair? Like, it's great, but you're gonna have that risk of running up in their face, and if they're a really good player and they know how to sit back with assault rifles and continuously kite you backwards with skills and other stuff, you're going to get destroyed. Also, I've been seeing a lot of people use the defense build. That is freaking awesome. I'm happy. It's really strong now. Now, I'm not sure if the crit chance works on the SMGs now. I think what they did is they removed the passive where crit chance couldn't work on the SMG with the shield, but they like removed the bonuses that you get or something. I don't know. I think they changed it, but I'm seeing a lot of people using defense and doing really well with it. So, you know, that's kind of cool. And I'm sure that's going to help out defense builds a lot if that crit chance does end up working on defense builds. And I'm just seeing so many people use different stuff. Like I'm seeing Sentry's Call, I'm seeing Predator's Mark, which Predator's Mark, by the way, still super, super good set. And somebody asked about like what to build for tanks. This is what I would suggest to you for tanks in Last Stand. Now, I know it's not a popular pick, but I seriously think Nomad is one of the better picks for you as far as being a tank, because you get those 2 health bars and you also get the percentage of health on kill, which can be really, really important, because the more health that you have, especially now, a lot of people don't know, but ever since they converted the amount of like extra armor that you would get on stats to like health, now you actually heal for a lot more when you have health on kill on your gear. So say you have health on kill on your gloves, and then you have the health on kill passive, which was like, I don't know, 12%, 15%, something like that. I don't really remember what it is on Nomad, to be honest. And yeah, you get that health on kill, and then you get like a healer with that tank, and it's almost impossible. Like that tank can just almost never die. So don't think that tank builds are completely out, because tank builds are not completely out. People just don't really do it because, well, to be honest, building tank isn't the most fun thing to do. People like to do damage, and that's just kind of what it is. But I think that once everyone starts to realize that skill builds are still absolutely viable, you'll start seeing teams use them a lot more. But anyways, wow. I feel like I've been talking for a while. It's only been 12 minutes. But I just want to share this with you guys, show that the MP7 does indeed melt players if they run up to you. Don't forget, though, I'm using a pretty high firearms build here. I think I'm running like 8K firearms, and I'm running the high-end build with Skull MC gloves, obviously, so I have a lot of damage. So with that being said, I think the SMG is in a really good spot. Now, if you're using like something like a Vector and you're not using a DPS build, I don't think it will be that good, but it probably shouldn't be, right? It shouldn't be super good, but you'll still be able to do some damage, which is way better than it used to be. Now, like, you know, if you are building a tank, you can opt to pick an SMG if you want to. It will, you know, it won't just be shooting marshmallows anymore. But anyways, like I said, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. This is the last week of the PTS, guys. So, well, the assumed last week of the PTS, which means that we will probably have a date not far from now. And if I were to make an assumption, I would say it would be in like 2 weeks. So I think their projected release date was the 28th of February. I actually think it will come before then. I think that was just a really safe time for them to kind of go for. And I just don't see it taking 20 days from now to get this patch out, but we'll see. I think at the end of February is a pretty safe bet of when it's going to be coming out. So hopefully you guys are really excited. Like I said, 1.6 for PvP and PvE is going to be amazing. I can't wait till you guys get to try the incursion. I haven't talked much about the incursion because, well, honestly, the incursion was so unbelievably good that I kind of didn't want to play it because I want to wait until I'm on my actual character to play it again. And it will kind of give me a refreshing feeling like I'm playing it again for the first time. I can't wait to get a group together and start doing some of that PvE content. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to drop the video a like if you enjoyed, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Take care, everybody.